Short sale versus foreclosure. What's in your best interest? You know, there's many factors involved if you owe more than what your home is worth or if you're faced with foreclosure. Although I can't give you any legal advice, I can give you some things to consider in making your decision. See, based on my opinion, helping hundreds, literally hundreds of people just like yourself, in almost every situation, doing a short sale is in your best interest. One really should only consider foreclosure after you've exhausted all other options and your bank has turned you down for a short sale. Selling your home as a short sale really is taking the higher road. You know, there's a number of negative consequences involved with a foreclosure. In some instances, some of the banks that foreclose actually send our clients a 1099 form for the loss deficiency if you foreclose. Think about that. That makes you liable for the income tax on the bank's loss. You see, even though you may speak with an attorney and they may tell you to just foreclose on the property, if you conduct a bankruptcy, well, you're going to bankrupt anyway, so just foreclose on the home. Are you going to foreclose and bankrupt your taxes to the IRS? You know, chances are that's not going to happen. So you see, not all attorneys specialize in short sales, or they don't know all the potential consequences. Legal, yes, but there's other consequences that are involved. You see, most attorneys have a generalized practice where they specialize in certain areas of the law. Like some attorneys will focus on criminal law, and some attorneys will focus on civil law. But just because they're an attorney in criminal law doesn't mean that they're qualified to advise you in matters of real estate law, and let alone all the potential consequences of a foreclosure. You see, not just legal, but there can be negative tax consequences of foreclosure, as we just discussed. So in addition to foreclosure, you know, not just the property going away, but that can stay in your credit report for 7 to 10 years and take 50, 100, 150, 200 points off your credit score. And any credit applications that you apply for credit in the future, whether that's another house, a rental home, auto, credit card, anything else, you know, anything that you have to fill out a credit application, you got to put on there, if they ask, that you foreclose on a piece of real estate. And then that bank has the right, or whoever that institution is, has the right to decline your loan application just because of that. Even if you have a great hardship and a great explanation. No hardship's great, but a great explanation of what your hardship is. That qualifies you. Whereas a short sale is an actual negotiated sale of the property. You see, under current mortgage lender underwriting guidelines with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, you can qualify for a new mortgage 24 months after conducting a short sale. So you did a short sale 2 years ago, you can buy a home again today. That's the law. That's the mortgage underwriting guidelines. You know, if you foreclose, that's not the case. It takes a lot longer. It really, if you ever qualify again. So short sales typically have a much smaller impact on your credit scores. The number of points that it takes off your credit score is much less than a foreclosure, and your credit can really heal a lot faster. So, you know, conducting a short sale, basically, it's gonna be a buffer to you. It's gonna be a shield to a lot of those negative consequences, legal, tax, you know, credit report. When we short sale your home, you see, we have the opportunity to negotiate with your lien holder and defer, or hey, maybe even completely eliminate a lot of the debt, the negative consequences through contract negotiation that we provide and written agreements with our attorneys that we hire. So, well, what's the other option? Well, you can just let the bank take the home back, but then really what happens to you? Can you negotiate the bank? Not when you foreclose. You see, you've given up your right to negotiate any liability reductions or any alternative terms with the bank. You're just saying, hey, here's the keys or no keys, and take the house back, and you're left completely unprotected, subject to the bank's team of attorneys. And trust me, they're going to use the full force of the law against you and to your economic detriment. That's a fact. They're out for them, so not for you. Now, with the foreclosure, basically you're just emptying out your wallet on the counter. You're just kind of shaking it upside down. You're closing your eyes, turning your back, and saying, "Help yourself," and whatever's left, just leave it for me. There's not going to be anything left. In fact, most people have to declare bankruptcy, which if you do a bankruptcy, that could cost $1,000 to $5,000 or $10,000. Depends if you're a business owner, or either way, it's going to cost you a lot of money if you foreclose and end up bankrupting if you don't have to. So, as you can now see, I've covered a lot of information here, but you really need to consult with a lot of different professionals, not just an attorney. There's attorneys, yes, that cover the legal aspect. There's mortgage lenders with your credit report, credit score, future, credit viability with, purchasing again, not just a home mortgage, but with autos and everything else that you'll probably need in the future. A CPA tax person is who you should talk with. And here's the thing, a real estate professional, we're kind of the hub of all these different, sources. We deal with housing. So your current housing situation now, your future housing situation if you're going to rent a home or buy a home, and I can help you with that as well. Again, my father owns a professional property management company. He's got several hundred rentals, and I know that we can definitely help you find a great home. Either way. So all it takes is a simple visit. I want to help you. I'm happy to help you. All you have to do is call me or text message me or email me. Tell me what your situation is. Let's sit down together and let's see if we can help you out. And if you want to consider renting your next home, you might want to do that while your credit's okay now. And that's the other thing. Not to belabor the point, but if you foreclose, and let's say you rent a house before you foreclose, what are you going to do with your rental 6 months or a year later if you're renting from a property manager and they pull your credit report and they say, aha, well, your risk score went down because of this foreclosure is now on there, and it's possible that you don't qualify for that rental and you have to move again. How terrible would that be? That's if you foreclose. If you short sale, hey, it's a negotiated sale. Again, that's the best of both worlds for you. So, I'm just trying to help you not be pigeonholed with limited options. I want to give you as many options as possible for you to consider. Really, we've got hundreds and hundreds of homes just in Pierce County, thousands of homes in King County every single month going into foreclosure. And we go to the auction, we look at those homes, we talk with investors, we keep track of what's going on, and it's really needless. Our market doesn't have to continue the erosion through excessive foreclosures. And that's another thing, is everybody needs to take personal responsibility, whatever our part is, in helping heal our economy. This is our economy. It's not the government's economy, it's our economy. We live here, we work here, it's our dollar that's in our pocket, and so we have to take responsibility to heal our economy. You know as well as I do, every home that forecloses, what does that do? That becomes the new comparable sale for a community. A new comparable sale. So that foreclosure is going to sell for less money than what a normal sale is going to be, and foreclosures are the #1 cause for equity destruction in neighborhoods and in communities. It's really terrible, but we have a chance to stop that. It's my opportunity to tell the world to stop foreclosure and a short sale, and let me share my service with you. It doesn't really cost you anything. $150 legal consultation fee with an attorney, and I pay all the other attorney's fees to short sale your home. So, your neighbors are going to appreciate it. You're going to have value because, you're not going to destroy your credit that way. Your credit score is going to be better. You can feel better just knowing that you didn't have a foreclosure on your record. and that you've done the right thing to help prevent the continued erosion of the community's home values versus what foreclosure is going to do. So a lot of banks may say, just deed your home back to us and then we'll, this or that or the other. They really don't want to go through the foreclosure process. It costs the bank $25,000 to $35,000 every time a home forecloses. The problem with the deed in lieu is this, is that home is basically a foreclosure, effectively. I mean, it's easy for you, but it goes back to the bank. Basically, it's all it's a deed in lieu of foreclosure. It's a voluntary repossession versus a repossession. It's the same thing. The way future creditors look at that, it's very similar to a foreclosure. And when that bank gets that home back, they foreclose on it anyway. They just don't have to wait 6 months to get your permission or to give you the right to reclaim the home. They can just foreclose right away. So it goes to the auction anyway, wipes out all the lien holders, gets listed as a bank-owned REO, real estate-owned property, and it gets sold for much less than market value, and that continues to erode the values in our community. This is where we work. This is where we live. Our kids grow up in these communities, and we have friends and neighbors, and maybe you don't have anything to benefit from your neighbor's value, but it sure does, put a bad taste in their mouth and in your mouth when you see your neighbor's home across the street foreclosed at half of what the thing is worth, and it just destroys everybody's home values. So there's just really tons of benefit to you to short sale your property. Now, after meeting with us, if the short sale is not in your best interest, we'll tell you. We'll tell you up front. But chances are a short sale is going to be in your best interest, and we're happy to help you with that. So you've got all my information on my website here. Call me, text me, email me. I'm happy to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. I'm happy to help you. So I hope that this video has provided you a lot of information, and really my point here is to compel you to consider all of your options and leave foreclosure as the final option if everything else, if you've exhausted all the other options. So, hey, thanks for your time, and I look forward to meeting you at your home.